Hello everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to Who's Your Daddy 6969. This is my channel. And it is about aquaponics. This is my aquaponics room, raft system. I said I'd come back to you in a week time for my last video to show you the results on the way I seed and what the results are. It's been the 2nd is when I did the last video, June 2nd, and I showed you how I planted the seeds and that we put the seeds in. I figured I'd come back today because I said I'd show another video on why I don't have a sump tank. And not only that, I'm pretty excited this morning. Things are looking really well. Today is only the 5th, June 5th. I planted the seeds on the 2nd. Okay, today's June 5th, so it's only been 3 days. Not even a full 3 days. So let me go on a little walkabout. I'll show you a few things that I've discovered this morning. For one, let's start off with the watermelon. I don't know if you can see, but right there, we have a little watermelon starting there. We have another one starting there. I got a whole bunch of little baby watermelons that are starting. This is called a sugar baby watermelon. So they only get to be, I think, 8 inches, 10 inches around. But they're starting to fruit, which is excellent. We'll move you over. Now, remember, we put the Burgum's lettuce seeds in here on the 2nd. And if you can see the green, today's the 5th and they're already sprouting. Not even 3 days. So this is why I went with this method in my raft system and my seeding. Things are doing really well. The seeds are starting to sprout within 3 days, okay? So, like I said, the proof's in the pudding. I can't argue with that. There's 1, 2, 3 seeds that have already germinated from just this setup. Now, I'm really excited too. Here is, check that out. Can you see them? That's right. I have peppers. My plants are starting to fruit, which is excellent. See? You got some more peppers in there if you can see those. Those there, over there. So things are starting to fruit, which I'm very excited about. Like I said, this system right here, this bed, is only 2 months old. 2 months and approximately 2 weeks. So it's doing really well. This is the tomato plant, the bush steak beef, and we have it flowering. Did you get to see that? There we go. There we are. They're starting to flower. And as you can tell, it's just going nuts. And remember, I've pruned this tomato plant right down to nothing, as you can tell, and it's just come back enormously. I'm really happy with this. Then, of course, the strawberries and the parsley I keep, as you can see, keep cutting down to eat and use. Broccoli down there. Now, our flowers are doing great. This is the mixed flower. She's flowering too. Another big batch of strawberries coming up there. This is the carnations. We've got new buds coming out. They've all been pruned back and it's budding again. And of course the roses, they just keep growing. Doing excellent. So I figured I'd give you a little peekaboo. I know it's a little early, but I have to show you. You know, like I said, it's pretty amazing. Just in less than 3 days, already sprouting. I got my pepper plants are fruiting. My watermelon's starting to fruit. Doing great. Okay, now, like I said, I would go and touch a little bit on my system here, why I have no sump tank. Okay, there's my fish tank. Okay. Big plywood. It also goes down underneath this floor about a half a foot to a foot deep. So it's about 210 gallons I made. Okay, now the pump comes from here and pumps everything up. Okay, now most people, a lot of people that I've noticed use sub tanks. A sub tank is a filter. You put in your biofilters and other screening things after your fish tank. Then they would fill up, then you'd pump and then circulate to your plant. Now the way I'm running it is, like I said before, we're trying to create the outdoors, the nature, Mother Nature, and that, they don't have sub-tanks. So I'm just letting it roll. Just letting it roll. Got it up there. Mind you, clean the hoses every now and then. This here is like a filter, my 2 towers. As you can see, it collects up. All that, that used to be all white in there. You can see all the algae from the light and that. So everything's doing okay. And then, like I said, I got it pumped over here, and this is like a filtration system. I'm using it, like, with the cups, as you can see. It collects all the fish waste. There used to be an NFT system, but I found it was too shallow for the root systems, and it would just end up getting clogged, which is a pain in the butt when it clogs up, because you got to take it all out and hoping you don't damage the roots, etc., etc. So I found it better using it for a filtration system with my homemade net pods, some hydroton in there, and, does the job. See, this has got no hydroton in there, so it basically goes right through. Okay? So I got a couple different methods in there. Like I said, once again, no sub-tank, because, like in the, along the river banks and that, there's no other sub-tanks filtering out the fish waste and that. It's all the ground and the rocks, right? So that's why I went with 2-inch gravel, pea gravel, and hydroton in the bottom of the beds with aerators to help break it up and just give the most nutrients as possible through my system. With a sub-tank, you got another pump, you got a whole bunch of other filters, which you have to in turn clean out and everything else. And my logic is, as far as I'm concerned, why? The whole idea here, as far as I was understanding, you want as much nutrients and that you can. Of course, you don't want to overwhelm them, right? But as long as your system, in my opinion, the way I've been running it, runs 24/7, it just keeps circling and filtering through. The aerator's doing its job by breaking up the heavy fish waste. The rocks and the hydroton in the bottom of the beds are collecting up the extra heavy debris, which in turn is giving you your bacteria a chance to build up and everything else, because I'm assuming with the sub-tank, because you put the sub-tanks after the fish tank, so all your ammonia, all your fish waste is being pumped into this sub-tank first, and then it's being filtered out. So therefore, would you not be losing more of your nutrients and everything else by filtering out this heavy fish waste and everything else? This is just my opinion. But as you can see, without a sub-tank, it's been working 2.5 months. My system's stabilized, everything's running great. All the levels are doing okay. Can't complain. Like the saying is, more water, better sustainability. As you can see, it's working. Like I said, in my application here, what I'm using, I'm not using a sub-tank. I got my homemade filters of the old NFT system, which is collecting a lot of the heavy fish stuff, but not too much, as a sub-tank would, because they have sections of filtrations. Now, if you look it up, you'll see some people's sub-tanks is just mass, or they got a swirl sub-tank to help break up the heavy debris or collect it up at the bottom, then you end up scooping it up. Now I'm assuming that you're scooping it out, you're taking out the nutrients, you're taking out all the stuff that you want for your plants, so the roots can live and get the nutrients and transform the water from bad water to good water. At least in my application and everything that I'm doing, this is why I'm not using a sub-tank, and I'm finding it to work really well for me in my situation. Once again, when I started this whole thing, it's all on a budget. I don't have lots of money. Not many people do nowadays, but I want my own garden. When you don't have much space, you don't have a yard, you do what you can, so you can help cut costs down and food-wise, everything all the way around. So, for the reason of having no sub-tank, I believe that you don't want to take out what you're trying to produce here, what you're trying to make, your bacteria, so plants can grow, the good algae, yes, too much algae robs your system of oxygen. But if you have enough aerators in there, enough water flowage, and constant flow, you can have the algae build up, keep it under control, just by taking some oil, take a little brush, wash it down a bit. You don't want to get rid of it, because I find that it's good. That's where your bacteria is. That's where your nutrients is. If algae is growing, as far as I'm concerned, your system is doing great. You want it to grow. It just helps provide things. Sure, it robs your fish of oxygen, but that's if you've got like this much algae in a small tank. Okay, now you got to keep in mind, I'm running almost 500 something gallons of water here and a constant flow. So, in my opinion, little algae ain't gonna hurt, because it actually is nutrients, and it is a bacteria growing, which fish eat off of it. Well, goldfish, and whatever else you got in your tank will enjoy it, as long as you have enough oxygen in your water to provide the life for your fish and your plants. This is why I went with aerators all through all my raft systems. Every raft bed has aerators in it to help break up the fish waste, to help provide oxygen in the water for the algae, for the roots of the plants. And I've showed you this before, how clean my roots are. I'll show you again. Here, this is my cauliflower growing. This is another reason why I like the raft system, is because you can plant so much more all together, because the roots aren't going to fight over trying to get nutrients or fighting through and choking out the other roots because it's trying to get up the nutrients. It's all open. The roots can be free to go wherever you want, and as you can see, there's massive roots. This is just cauliflower. Okay, just a little guy. Look how clean that is. You go ahead and try to do this with one of your plants in the ground. Try to easily pull it out, look at it. Oh, it's gorgeous. No, it ain't happening. Even in a media bed. To plant in it's great, but then if you want to check, want to see what's going on, it's something, like that's gorgeous. Okay? All nice clean roots. And once again, no sub-tank, no extra filtration. Like you said, you're out taking a walk out through the woods, and there's a nice creek right beside the wood, and you got all this green lush. There's no sub-tank. There's nothing filtering out the water except for what's in the water and on the banks and on your shores. Rocks, the gravel, which collects everything up, and the moving water, and the rushing, just try to keep it as real as possible. Hopefully this helps a bit. I'll show you. See, that's how easy. Just like that, and I'm not damaging my roots. Like, that's gorgeous. And it goes right back in. Real simple. Like I said, the raft system to me is a wonderful thing, because you can plant more together, because you have the space in the room for the roots, not to fight over the nutrients and everything else. Hopefully this was a little helpful to you, and to the person that asked questions. Like I said, proof is in the pudding. And I'll be replenishing a few of these holes, except for this area. This here is strictly just for the watermelon and the one aloe. Like I said, I got them all in sections, all removable, which I like. And like I said, you can plant more things together, as you can see with all the holes, because the roots aren't going to struggle and fight and try to get the nutrients, because it's all through the bed. Hope this helped anybody that's had a few questions why I had no sub-tanks and how my system is running. Any other questions or comments? Go ahead. Shoot them out at me. I'll do the best I can to answer them for you. And like I said, keep in mind, everything in this bed, you see, all started from seeds. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.
Talk to you later.